Welcome to today's episode of Tales from Beyond the Bar. Today we're going to be covering a very important topic, George Washington's Rules of Civility. George Washington copied these from a 16th century Jesuit manual. These 110 maxims shaped his character through ideals, courtesy, honor, and self-mastery. They reflect the moral code of colonial America and helped forge a reputation that led many to call him the greatest man who ever lived. Number one, and what I feel is the most important thing, every action done in company ought to be done with some sign of respect to those that are present. Number two, when in company, put not your hands to any part of your body not usually discovered. So no whacking it in public. Number three, show nothing to your friend that may affright him. So that lady you decapitated, don't show him that. Don't show him the head you kept as a trophy. Not cool. Number four, in the presence of others, sing not to yourself with a humming noise, nor drum with your fingers or feet. Mostly because you're not good at it. Number five, if you cough, sneeze, sigh, or yawn, do it not loud, but privately. And speak not in your yawning. Put your handkerchief or hand before your face and turn aside. Yeah, don't sneeze on other people. Not cool. Number six, sleep not when others speak. Sit not when others stand. Speak not when you should hold your peace. Walk not when others stop. 7. Put not off your clothes in the presence of others, nor go out your chamber half-dressed. Yeah, don't walk around naked. 8. At play and at fire, it's good manners to give place to the last comer, and affect not to speak louder than ordinary. Yeah, if someone shows up to the fire, let him sit at it. Number 9. Spit not in the fire, nor stoop low before it. Neither put your hands into the flames to warm them, nor set your feet upon the fire, especially if there be meat before it. Yeah, don't put your feet on the cooking surface. Number 10. When you sit down, keep your feet firm and even, without putting one on the other or crossing them. Just good posture. It shows respect. Number 11. Shift not yourself in the sight of others, nor gnaw your nails. God, I wish I could do that. I chew my nails. I don't do it in front of other people, but I wish I could stop it. Number 12. Shake not your head, feet, or legs. Roll not the eyes, lift not one eyebrow higher than the other, wry not the mouth, and bedew no man's face with your spittle, by approaching too near him when you speak. All right. By now, you figured out that this is in old English. So, these are, I literally copy and pasted these things in his words. I am going to stumble. A lot of that I didn't get too much, except for the fact, don't spit on other people when you talk to them. Number 13. This is a dated one. Kill no vermin as fleas, lice, ticks in the sight of others. If you see any filth or thick spittle, put your foot dexterously upon it. If be upon the cloths of your companions, put it off privately. And if be upon your own clothes, return thanks to him who puts it off. So if you see a little bit of crap on your friend's shoulder, knock it off, privately. It's the same principle as, someone's zipper's down. Hey, bro, your zipper's down. You don't yell it across the room. Hey, dude, your zipper's down. Same principle. Number 14, turn not your back to others, especially when in speaking. Jog not the tables or desk of one another reads or writes. Lean not upon any one. So I guess don't lean on other people, or if someone's reading or writing, you don't lean on that table. All right. Number 15, keep your nails clean and short. Also, your hands and teeth clean without any showing any great concern for them. Mostly vanity there. I don't know if you knew about coke nails, that long fingernail that a lot of waiters and other people have for scooping coke, but they didn't have anything cool like that back then. Maybe snuff. Number 16, do not puff up your cheeks. Lull not out the tongue, rub the hands or beard. Thrust out the lips or bite them or keep the lips too open or close. 17. Be no flatterer, neither play with any that delights not to be played withal. I don't know. I guess you're not allowed to say nice tits. 18. Read no letters, books, or papers in company, but when there is a necessity for doing of it, you must ask leave. Come not near the books or writings of another, so as to read them, unless desired, or give your opinion of them unasked. Also look not nigh when another is writing a letter. So respect people's privacy, including your own. 19. Let your countenance be pleasure, but in serious matters, somewhat grave. Number 20. The gestures of the body must be suited to the discourse you are upon. So, if you're telling someone that their mom died, you don't, go, "Hey, your mom's dead." You say, "Hey, or, yeah, body language befitting the news." 21. Reproach none for the infirmities of nature, nor delight to put them to have in mind thereof. I guess that means, if someone gets sick, don't be happy they're sick, or I no, that's the next one. 22. Show not yourself glad at the misfortune of another, though he were your enemy. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say don't feel it. It says show not yourself glad at the misfortune of another, though he were your enemy. So you can have these feelings, just don't say it out loud. Don't go, "Woo, my enemy is dead or sick." Number 3, when you see a crime punished, you may be inwardly pleased, but always show pity to the suffering offender. Kind of the same principle as the last one. You could be happy a man is getting hanged for an offense, but you're not supposed to be joyous outwardly about it. Number 24, do not laugh too loud or too much at any public spectacle. So the dancing monkey, you're allowed to have a little bit of fun with it. The one with the little tambourine and they call it an organ grinder. You can have fun with it, but not too much. A small smile. There are no paintings of George Washington with a big fat smile, so that's probably why. Number 25. Superfluous compliments and all affectation of ceremony are to be avoided. Yet where due, they are not to be neglected. So there are times where you have to receive accolades or give accolades when they are earned. But you shouldn't outwardly go for it. Oh boy. Number 26. In pulling off your hat to persons of distinction, as noblemen, justices, churchmen, and make a reference, bowing more or less according to the custom of the better bred and quality of the person, amongst your equals expected not always that there should begin with you first, but to pull off the hat where there is no need in affectation. In the matter of saluting and resaluting in words, keep to the most usual custom. That one's wordy, but I think it means, genuflect where necessary, but not over the top. So the president comes by, shake his hand, but don't bow, because we don't bow, we're Americans. Number 27. 'Tis ill manners to bid one more eminent than yourself be covered as well as not to do with it whom is due. Likewise, he that makes too much haste to put on his hat does not well, yet he ought to put it on at first, or at most the second time of being asked. Now, what is herein spoken of qualifications and behavior in saluting ought also be observed in taking of places, sitting down for ceremonies without bounds is troublesome. You figure that one out, guys. 28. If any one come to speak with you while you were sitting, stand up, though he be your inferior, and when you present seats, let it be to every one according to his degree. So, most important person in the room gets the best seat. Lowest person, they get a seat, but not the best seat. Number 29. When you meet with one of greater quality than yourself, stop and retire, especially if it be at a door or any straight place. Give way for him to pass. That makes sense. You know, like say you got your grandpa, he's 95 years old, hard of walking. You're gonna make space for him. You know, especially if you're a 20-year-old and you got the ability to maneuver, you make space. That's why we hold little doors open for little old ladies and grandpas, and people who broken legs, all sorts of respectful stuff. It's very simple, but said eloquently. Number 30. Walking the highest place in most countries seems to be on the right hand. Therefore, place yourself on the left of him who do you desire to honor. If 3 walk together, the middle place is the most honorable. The wall is usually given to the most worthy if 2 walk together. It's kind of like how men are supposed to walk on the street side when they're with a lady. Typically, the danger is coming from the street, so the person of reverence is going to get the wall side. Number 31. If anyone far surpasses others, either in age, estate, or merit, yet would give place to a meaner than himself in his own lodging or elsewhere, the one ought not to accept it. So he, on the other part, should not use much earnestness, nor offer it once or twice. Okay, like you have a guest, and hey, you get the nice room. And they're like, no, no, no. And then you offer it one more time, and then they're allowed to accept. It's polite. 32. The one that is your equal, or not much inferior you are, to give the chief place in your lodging, and he too is offered, ought as the first to refuse, but the second to accept through not without acknowledging his own unworthiness. I guess that's the same principle as what I just said. Out of respect, you offer the superior lodging to someone of similar status or higher status than you. 33. They that are in dignity or in office have in all places precedence, but whilst they are young, they ought to respect those that are their equals in birth or other qualities, though they have no public charge. So if you're like 20 years old and you're the mayor of a small town, you should still be respectful to the people, to everybody, including people of your own age, even though they may not be the mayor or a city councilman. At least my interpretation. 34. It is good manners to prefer them to whom we speak before ourselves, especially if they be above us, with whom in no sort we ought to begin. Again, figure that one out, guys. Number 35. Let your discourse with men of business be short and comprehensive. Short and to the point. Yeah. Number 36. Artificers or persons of low degree ought not to use many ceremonies to lords or others of high degree, but respect and highly honor them. And those of high degree ought to treat them with affability and courtesy, without arrogance. So if you're rich, or the senator, or any of that other stuff, the poor shouldn't really be genuflecting you. And if you are one of those privileged people who are doing really well in life, How about, you treat everyone else with a certain level of respect too? Please. 37. In speaking to men of quality, do not lean nor look them full in the face, nor approach them too nearly, them at least kept a full pace from them. It's kind of like I hear stories of people freaking out when they see a celebrity. They just go crazy. Um, treat celebrities with respect. 38. In visiting the sick, do not presently play the physician if they do not know therein. Well, that's pretty easy. You know, someone's on the hospital bed. Um, don't go, oh, you should just drink more water. Yeah. Like just listen to them and care, you know? And number 39. In writing or speaking, give not to every person his due title according to his degree and custom of the place. So if someone's a lawyer, you know, um, kind of write it. Or if they're the mayor, you're writing to the mayor. Dear Mayor Joe, you know. Number 40. Strive not with your superiors in argument, but always submit your judgment to others with modesty. So if you do have a disagreement with your boss or somebody of a higher level as you, speak with, submit your judgment to others with modesty. Don't just say you're wrong and I'm right. Just state your case. 41. Undertake not to teach your equal in the art himself professes. It savors of arrogance. I don't know, like if someone's a painter and you know, they care about it deeply and you don't care that much, why give them any pointers? 42. Let thy ceremonies in courtesy be proper to the dignity of his place with whom thou converses, for it is absurd to act the same with a clown and a prince. Yeah, you're going to behave differently at the circus than you would at a royal banquet. Makes sense. Number 43. Do not express joy before one sick or in pain, for that contrary passion will aggravate his misery. And this may be why a lot of people don't like visiting the hospital, is because you might be having a really great day, but your buddy's in the hospital. You really can't talk about how great of a day you're having while he's holed up in a hospital. It's not fair. Yeah, they're not going to like it. Number 44. When a man does all he can, though it succeeds, not well blame not him that did it. Man. Okay. When someone fails, even though they tried really hard, you know, we don't blame them. We just kind of we give them accolades anyway. It's noble he tried. It's really important that people try, even if they fail. Star Trek wisdom is you can do everything right and still fail. That's life. Number 45. Being to advise or reprehend any other, consider whether it ought to be public or in private, presently or at some other time, in what terms to do it, and all reproving show no sign of choler, but to do with it all sweetness and mildness. Okay, well, if say someone's wronged you, say you're the boss, and you have to correct an employee, don't be a dick about it. You don't have to do it in public. You can sweetness and mildness. I have to do this as a manager. If somebody's doing something incorrectly, I just as politely as I possibly can, without, I make the decision. Am I going to do this in front of other people or could I do this in private? And try to do it as, respectful of that person. Sweetness and mildness. So you don't get angry. You just do it as you're helping this person by correcting them. Number 46. Take all admonitions thankfully in what time or place soever given, but afterwards not being culpable, take a time and place convenient to let him know it that gave them. I guess if someone, your boss, tells you to correct something, um, yeah, um, you know, be cool. Just take it. Number 47. Mock not nor jest at anything of importance. Break no jest that are sharp biting. If you deliver anything witty and pleasant, abstain from laughing thereat yourself. So don't laugh at your own jokes. And don't be too mean. Number 48. Wherein you reprove another, be unblameable yourself. For example, is more prevalent than precepts. I don't know. I never ask ChatGPT what that means. Number 49. Use no reproachable language against any one, neither curse nor revile. Don't speak ill of the dead. Don't speak ill of the alive. Uh, you know, be kind. Uh, it's much better. 50. Be not hasty to believe flying reports to the disparagement of any. Okay. People demonize each other. They do it all the time. They make shit up. So, take believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Number 51. Wear not your cloths, as in your clothes, foul, ripped, or dusty, but see they be brushed at least once a day, at least, and take heed that you approach not to any uncleanliness. Don't be filthy. Wear clean clothes. You know. As you can see, this is old timey language. It does not have washed clothes as the language. It literally says, but see they be brushed once a day. I guess they just had to brush their clothes clean because that was the best they had. Wow. We have it good. Number 52. In your apparel, be modest and endeavor to accommodate nature. Rather than procure admiration, keep to the fashion of your equals, such as they are civil and orderly with respect to time and places. So, dress nice, but not too vain. Don't peacock. Modest. So, Chanel, no. Louis Vuitton, no. These are appeals to vanity and not what George Washington wants for us. 53. Run not in the streets, neither go too slowly, nor with mouth open, go not shaking with your arms, kick not the earth with your feet, go not upon the toes, nor in a dancing fashion. So I guess walk. Yeah. 54. Play not the peacock, looking everywhere about you to see if you be well decked, if your shoes fit well, if your stockings sit neatly, and clothes handsomely. So I guess look good, but don't care about how good you look to others. I think. 55. Eat not in the streets, nor in the house, out of season. This one, I'm thinking, in the summer, it got really hot in the houses, so you eat outside, I guess. And then in the winter, you don't eat in the streets because it's cold as hell. Some of these are a little time sensitive. 56. Associate yourself with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than in bad company. This one is true. A man is whatever room he is in. And if he's in a room full of bad people, He may very well be not so good himself. If he's in a room full of good people, he might very well be a good person. Associate yourself with men or women of good quality if you esteem your own reputation. 57. In walking up and down in a house, only with one in company, if he be greater than yourself, at the first give him the right hand, and stop not till he does, and be not the first that turns. And when you do turn, let it be with your face towards him. If he be a man of great quality, walk not with him cheek by jowl, but somewhat behind him, but yet in such a manner that he may easily speak to you. So, say you were with the King of England. You are not to walk even pace with him. You are to be at least 1/2 step behind him. If you turn, if you're going to just turn to look backwards, you don't turn away from him, you turn towards him. Kind of makes sense. 58. Let your conversation be without malice or envy, for it is a sign of a tractable and commendable nature, and in all causes of passion admit reason to govern. Yeah, don't be a dick. If if you don't have malice or envy, people will like you more, too. It's a good-natured. Number 59. Never express anything unbecoming, nor act against the rules moral before your inferiors. So, in these rules, he never says, never break the rules. It says, never nor act against the rules moral before your inferiors. So, don't ever break the rules in front of anybody else. At least not your inferiors. 60. Be not immodest in urging your friends to discover a secret. Be not immodest. So, here, we'll get rid of the double negative. So, be modest in urging your friends to discover a secret. Okay, so don't encourage people to find out secrets. So, you don't just go, hint, hint, I know the secret, you should find it out too. That's my understanding. 61. Utter not base and frivolous things amongst grave and learned men, nor very difficult questions or subjects among the ignorant, or things hard to be believed. Stuff not your discourse with sentences among your betters or nor equals. That's a word salad. I mean, I'm sure it not base frivolous things amongst grave and learned men, nor very difficult questions or subjects among the ignorant. Stuff not your discourse with sentences amongst your Okay, so short and brief amongst people. Don't load sentences. I mean, it itself is a word salad, but he's kind of saying, don't throw too much information at people, I guess. Number 62. Speak not of doleful things in a time of mirth or at the table. Speak not of melancholy things as death and wounds. And if others mention them, change, if you can, the discourse. Tell not your dreams, but not to your intimate friend. So your hopes and dreams, keep them to yourself, except for your actual friends, because most people don't care. 63. A man ought not to value himself as his achievements or rare qualities of wit, much less of his rich virtues or kindred. So, just because you own a boat and you got a lot of money, it's not your real value in the world. If you're a man of honor, you should feel good. 64. Break not a jest when none take pleasure in mirth. Laugh not aloud, nor at all without occasion deride no man's misfortune, though there seem to be some cause. I need to work on this one. There are jackasses in the world who fail or whatever, and they have bad things happen to them. And it's easy to say, well, that knucklehead got what he deserved because he's a knucklehead. It's not polite. It's not good. And it's against rule number 64. Number 65. Speak not injurious words, neither in jest nor earnest scoff at none, although they give occasion. There's no reason to say anything malicious about anybody. If nothing else, when people hear you say things behind someone else's back, they think that maybe you say it about them. 66. Be not forward, but friendly and courteous. The first to salute, hear and answer, and be not pensive when it's time to converse. Be friendly. And when it's time to converse, converse. 67. Detract not from others, neither be excessive in commanding. As someone who's a manager, I just think of empowering people. But I could be wrong. 68. Go not thither, where you know not, whether you shall be welcome or not. Give not advice without being asked, and when desired, do it briefly. So, if someone does actually ask you for advice, don't do it for too long. Keep it short. Keep it simple. 69. If two contend together, take not the part of either unconstrained, and be not obstinate in your own opinion, and things indifferent, be of the major side. So when you get into a disagreement, don't be a jerk about it. Don't be obstinate, as he says. Number 70. Reprehend not the imperfections of others, nor that belongs to parents, masters, and superiors. So nothing in life is perfect. Why obsess on it? Why bring it up? 71. Gaze not on the marks or blemishes of others, and ask not how they came. When you speak in secret to your friend, deliver not before others. So, there are people that were in fires as kids. You don't mention that, you don't stare at it. Someone's got burned off their eyebrows, smoking meth under the bridge. You don't stare at their missing eyebrows, missing teeth, that kind of stuff. Number 72. Speak not in an unknown tongue in company, but in your own language, and that as those of quality do, and not as the vulgar, sublime matters treat seriously. So, it is rude to speak a different language than other people. Say, and I experienced this from as an American in 2025, where I'm in a room with people, and people who are not from America speak in their own secret language from somewhere else. Vietnamese, the Spanish, Greeks. We have a little bit of everybody out here, and it's not polite to speak a foreign language. I mean, I get it. If your grandma can't speak English and you got to communicate with her, go ahead. But if you're just doing it because it's easier, it's impolite. 73. Think before you speak. Pronounce not imperfectly, nor bring out words too hastily, but orderly and distinctly. I try to do that. I have struggled with some of these sentences on this. As you can tell, I'm stumbling and bumbling. Not used to the syntax of 200 years ago, 250 years ago. So I tried. 74. When another speaks, be attentive with yourself and disturb not the audience. If any hesitate in his words, help him, not nor prompt him without desired. Interrupt him not, nor answer him till his speech is ended. So don't interrupt people. I'm terrible at this. Um, Not as bad as others, but like they'll be halfway through the sentence, and it's just like, oh well, just shush, shush. 75. In the midst of discourse, ask not of what one treateth, but if you perceive any stop because of your coming, you may well entreat him gently to proceed. If a person of quality comes in while you are conversing, it's handsome to repeat what was said before. So if you're having a good conversation with somebody, and someone that's respectable walks into the room, you kind of, oh, I was just telling Jim about that thing. Kind of, it's polite. 76. While you are talking, point not with your finger at him of whom you neither discourse nor approach too near him, to whom you talk, especially to his face. 77. Treat with men at fit times about business and whisper not in the company of others. Yeah, you don't whisper in front of other people. It's not cool. You go, hey, I need to speak with this person alone for a moment. 78. Make no comparisons, and if any of the company be commended for the brave act of virtue, commend not another for the same. So if two people act admirably at work, and both of them did one thing really good, find something else to commend the second person for. It takes away from someone's accolades if you just say, both of you did really good at this. You say, you did really good at that, and you did really good at the other thing. It takes a little bit of creativity, but, it works. Number 79. Be not apt to relate news if you know not the truth thereof. In discoursing of things you have heard, name not your author, always a secret discovered not. If you don't know if something's true or not, don't say shit. Don't be part of the rumor mill. Don't spread more. 80. Be not tedious in discourse or in reading unless you find the company pleased therewith. 81. Be not curious to know the affairs of others, neither approach those that speak in private. So you see two people talking in private, they've literally done the polite thing and they're talking in private somewhere else. Don't approach them, don't interrupt it. 82. Undertake not what you cannot perform, but be careful to keep your promise. Don't write checks you can't cash. Do what you're going to say you did. 83. When you deliver a matter, do it without passion and without discretion. However mean the person be, you do it too. Okay, say you got to deliver bad news. Don't be passionate about it. Just deliver the bad news. If you got to punch a guy in the face, don't get angry, I guess. 84. When your superiors talk of anybody, hearken not, neither speak nor laugh. So, it's just like when a drill sergeant's yelling at somebody on the line for having big ears, don't laugh, because he's going to get you too. It's just also not polite. 85. In company of these of higher quality than yourself, speak not till you are asked a question, and stand upright, put of your hat, and answer a few words. So your boss asks you to speak. What do you think about this? Don't go on forever. Just say it. 86. In disputes, be not so tedious to overcome as not to give liberty to each other to deliver his opinion and submit to the judgment of the major part, especially if there are judges of the dispute. Be not so desirous to overcome as not to give liberty to each one of deliver. Okay, let people speak, state their case. 87. Let thy carriage be such as become a man grave settled and attentive to that which is spoken. Contradict not at every turn what others say. Um, yeah, you don't have to be right about everything. Sometimes you just let people be wrong. 88. Be not tedious in discourse. Make not many digressions, nor repeat often the same manner of discourse. Yeah, don't be boring. Get it short and sweet. Get it out. You know, I don't need to know what color the guy's pants were if he's the one that hit. You got in an accident with your car. His pants color doesn't matter. Why are you bothering me with that? 89. Speak not evil of the absent, for it is unjust. Don't talk bad about people when they're not there. Don't talk bad about other people. Uh, if you talk bad about other people, people wonder, does he talk like about me when I'm not here? 90. Being set at meat, scratch not, neither spit, cough, or blow your nose, except when there is a necessity for it. So if you're eating dinner, you don't do those bodily functions. You kind of like you do those on your own. 91. Make no show of taking great delight in your victuals. Feed not with greediness. Cut your bread with a knife. Lean not on the table, neither find fault with what you eat. So you don't complain about the food. You don't gobble it up. You don't just shovel it in your mouth. You eat it politely, with respect. 92. Take no salt or cut bread with your knife greasy. Oh, man, I'm sure anybody listening to this has known somebody to get the butter crummy. That's not cool, okay? Not cool. 93. Entertaining anyone at the table, it is decent to present him with the meat. Undertake not to help others undesired by the master. Uh, yeah, take care of your guests, you know. 94. If you soak bread in the sauce, let it be no more than what you put in your mouth at a time, and blow not your broth at table, but stay till it cools itself off. So don't blow on your things. Let it cool down naturally. Be patient. 95. Put not the meat in your mouth with your knife in your hand, neither spit forth the stones of any fruit pie upon a dish, nor cast anything under the table. So don't throw food on the floor. Don't spit things out onto your dish. Yeah, obviously, there's definitely an exception to this. If you're going to choke on a bone, you're going to have to pull it out of your mouth and put it on the plate. Yeah. 96. It's unbecoming to stoop much to one's meat. Keep your fingers clean, and when foul, wipe them on the corner of your table napkin. So, yeah, don't get filthy. Keep your hands clean. 97. Put not another bit in your mouth till the former is swallowed. Let not your morsels be too big for the jowls. So cut your food into reasonable sized pieces. Like, don't just jam it in there. 98. Drink not, nor talk with your mouth full. Neither gaze about you while you were drinking. Yeah, don't eat with your mouth. Don't talk with your mouth full. It's rude. Drink not too leisurely, nor yet too hastily. Before and after drinking, wipe your lips. Breathe not then, or even with too great of a noise, for it is uncivil. No smacking your lips. Yeah, just don't be loud when eating. 100. Cleanse not your teeth with the tablecloth, napkin, fork, or knife. But if others do it, let it be done without a peep to them. As in, you don't do it. And if they do it, just forget it. Like, in fact, with all of these rules, there are times where you just got to let other people be, and just let them be wrong. Just it's frustrating, but it's a better life. 101. Rinse not your mouth in the presence of others. So it's gross. You can do that on your own time. Don't do it in front of me. 102. It is out of your It is out of use to call upon the company, often to neither eat nor need you to drink others every time you drink. So I guess like don't have to eat as fast as every other person. You don't have to drink as fast as every other person. There's a pace you want to do, but you know, similar, not every single motion. 103. In the company of your betters, be not longer in eating than they are. Lay not your arm, but only your hand upon the table. So no putting your elbows on the table. And try to eat at the same pace of your betters. Follow their lead. 104. It belongs to the chiefest in company to unfold his napkin and fall the meat to meat first. But he ought then to begin in time and dispatch with dexterity that the slowest may have time allowed him. So if you're the top dog at the table, you're going to have a slow eater that you're kind of, it's best to accommodate. You don't eat super fast and then expect them to be done when you're done. It's rude. 105. Be not angry at the table whatever happens, and if you have reason to be so, show it not. Put on a cheerful countenance, especially if there be strangers, for good humor makes one dish of meat a feast. Yeah, if someone offends, don't take offense. Just be nice. Um, you know, you could eat if you eat at the table with a caveman. He's grabbing everything with his hands. Yeah, it's a little weird. But what are you gonna do? Change him? No. It's just a much easier way of life. Just let other people be. 106. Sit not yourself at the upper of the table, but if it were your due, or that the master of the house will have it, so contend not, lest you be trouble for the company. Trouble company. So, if someone wants you to carve the turkey, carve the turkey. 107. If others talk at the table, be attentive, but talk not with meat in your mouth. Don't eat with your mouth full. How many times has he said this already? 108. When you speak of God or his attributes, let it be seriously and with reverence. Honor and obey your natural parents, although they are poor. Yeah, poor parents are parents too. 109. Let your recreations be manful, not sinful. This is a very important one. And to see it's almost at the end, one before the very last rule of let your recreations be manful, not sinful. And number 10, 110. Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire named conscience. And those are the 110 rules of George Washington for civility. So I have a quick summary. General conduct. Show respect to everyone. Be courteous in both speech and behavior. Avoid rude habits like spitting, scratching, fidgeting, or yawning loudly. Maintain self-control in all settings. Don't show anger, arrogance, or excessive mirth in company. Do not interrupt or dominate conversations. Speak modestly and clearly. Give preference to others, to elders, superiors, and guests. Let others go first or have the better seat. Avoid gossip, mockery, or commenting on people's flaws, as easy as it is. Personal hygiene and appearance. Dress neatly and modestly. Don't obsess over your appearance. Keep your body clean and avoid public grooming like nail biting or teeth picking, or picking your nose too. At the table, eat politely. Don't stuff your mouth, slurp, or talk while eating. Let superiors start first and follow their pace. Avoid playing with food or utensils. Don't draw attention to yourself at the table. Speech and conversation. Speak only when appropriate and avoid boasting, sarcasm, or foul language. Don't force advice or opinions. Listen more than you talk. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Therefore, you should listen twice as much as you speak. And moral principles. Refrain from cruelty or delighting in other people's misfortunes. Honor your parents and superiors. Respect the dignity of every person. Every person. And keep promises and live by conscience. your inner moral compass. Well, that was a slog, but I feel better having read it. There's things that I need to work on. I'm sure if you listened attentively to this whole thing, that you have things to work on, because nobody's perfect. And in there, while he strives for perfection, there are rules in there that tell you to accept other people's imperfections. That's one of my imperfections, accepting other people's imperfections. Man, there's a couple people. But I love you. Really glad you watched. And as you can tell, I'm still learning how to do this. But thank you very much for your time. I know it's valuable.